Hey buddies, my name is Andrey and I'm here to prove to you that Brazil is more than samba, football and carnival. Today I'm talking to Yousra from France. So Yousra, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, and you?
Yeah, I'm great. Très bien, as you French people. First of all, I like to ask, who are you and what do you do?
So, my name is Yousra, right? I live in Brazil since 2019, and I do videos on YouTube. I react to various videos about Brazil, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I love to do to watch your videos because you have your
Thank you.
French opinion about some subjects here and you do in Portuguese. Actually, I
Mhm.
like to say that your Portuguese is great. You
Thank
even,
you.
of course, you put a little bit of French accent, but I think it's good. It's awesome to hear. And yeah, and Brazilians like to watch to and give their opinions about what's going on,
Mhm.
and what is the relation with Brazil? How does it start?
Well, actually, it started during the 2014 World Cup, where I don't know, I thought it was super interesting. It was full of emotions, and like you saw the like how Brazilians just like to party, like music, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So from
Hmm.
there, I started listening to more, a little bit of Brazilian music and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then in 2016, I met my now husband, and he's Brazilian. So I started learning a bit more about his culture. Then I started learning about his language, just to be able to communicate with his family and friends. And yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, I don't have good feelings when we talk about the World Cup in Brazil because it's too painful for me and
Oh
the whole
yeah, I guess.
country about about what happened to German. But yeah, we love to do that, that party, that World Cup here in
Hmm.
Brazil. It was really nice to exchange cultures. I met some people from other countries and so yeah, it definitely was really fun, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, and I like to ask you, like, you speak Portuguese, and
Mhm.
we have similarities when we talk about French and Portuguese language. It was easy for you.
Well, yes, it was like learning the basics was pretty easy, but when it comes to like grammar, it gets harder, and so I kind of gave up and just improvised. So
Hmm.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
Hmm.
I guess as long as people can understand me, that's what matters to me.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, because uh, I do mistakes in English, but if you can understand me, I think that, that's fine. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah, and I think like the more you speak, the better it gets. So if you just wait to be like perfectly fluent on like the paper, but you do not
Hmm.
speak and you do not try and you do not make mistakes, you will never improve. So you just have to.
Yeah, as I told you before, I'm learning French, and I'm gonna put
Mhm.
some French words in this podcast because it's my moment and I need to practice. Of course, we have some similar words. For example, président, right?
Mhm.
Presidente. And do you remember other words similar to Portuguese and French?
Like all the words, no, but like conjugation,
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
I don't know,
Maybe blanc.
video,
Oh, yeah.
blanc, vídeo, video. Uh, tem vários, né? Sorry. There
It's
are a
normal.
lot of there are a lot of similar words, but usually what changes is the intonation, like the accentuation.
Yeah. Mhm. Talking about our similarities that we have, there is some important names that we have here, which is we can connect to France. For example, you have Santos Dumont, and he was one of the most important guys for us Brazilians because he was okay. This is something really important to say on this episode. We have the Wright brothers. Okay, they are really famous because they were widely responsible to invent the aircraft. But we have Santos Dumont, and he was important to do some improvements. He was important as well on that field, and he did his first flight in Paris because he was, descendants from there. And I know that France, they recognize Santos Dumont as the main responsible for the invention of aircraft. So I think it's nice to put it on the podcast. And as we said, we have the Master Chef, which is a program of cooking stuff, etc. And here in Brazil, we have Érick Jacquin. Is it good, my pronunciation? The original?
Yes, it is.
So we have Érick Jacquin, and he is a French chief, right? He speaks Portuguese, and of course he has accent. And I think that he's almost a character because, for example, we have tempero, a Portuguese word, and he says tempero, and that's really funny to hear. And people love him. He's a star here. And
he's cute. He's so cute. He's all chubby.
Exactly. And you told me that you have a famous Brazilian in France, right? Can you talk a little bit?
Well, it's a woman. She was a Brazilian model in the 80s. And now in France, she does like a sort of TV show about fashion, which is called Les Reines du Shopping. So the queen of shopping. And she's named Cristina Córdula. And yeah, she's a character as well, like she has an accent, and she has some expressions that she talks with an accent. And, like you just say, ah la la ma chérie, for example, and everybody would know that like it's a reference to her because she always say that. But in Brazil, I think nobody knows her.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I never heard it before. But yeah, that's great that we are, be famous in other country, right? Like, what can you see about Brazil in France, like in news, for example?
Well, now it's not very happy.
Yeah,
the
totally.
news now, but usually it's like any other countries, like when something big happens, they talk about it, but mostly it would be like football and all these stereotypes that we are used to now. And if they show Brazil on TV, it will be the favelas or the beach, but not really like the normal people, normal way of living. So they don't really care much for now, except when there is a big scandal, big corruption, something,
Yeah, you said something because we have like a fight between our presidents because of the Amazon situation, and we have that. Unfortunately, it's not a good news, but we have this, and we are of course definitely rivals on football because of what happened in '98. But I love French people, I already met one girl, and she's fine, I think that you guys don't have prejudice or something like that. I love Mbappe, Pogba, they are really great players.
Yeah.
And for example, here about France, well, we have that president, fight.
That's so
I already heard about some cities, for example, as I told you, Bordeaux, the city of wine. Definitely Paris, one of the most important cities in the world. Of course, you have a lot of news from there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can I say like Ratatouille, the movie from Disney, which is,
Ratatouille.
which is inspired on, it isn't story inside of the French culture, and
Yes,
you
it's
can learn a little bit, maybe. Am I wrong?
no, I think there are some cultural references, and while I believe like this kind of movies, they all bring something to the table. Like they all teach you a little bit about something, and it does teach you a bit of about France and its culture of gastronomy. It's
Hmm.
super interesting. I love this movie, and not because I'm French.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. For example, we have the movie Rio, right, which is
Hmm.
a blue Macau, the main character, and I think it's going on the carnival here in Brazil, and the character was doing like an adventure here, and we have
Hmm.
some cultural things inside of the cartoon, but of course we cannot um, say in the whole cultural Brazilian way of living, but it's
Of
nice.
course.
Like you can learn a little bit,
Yeah, it's
and
fun to watch. It's
mhm,
a fun way to learn.
yeah, and I remember as well there is a Formula One driver called Nelson Piquet, and yeah, Piquet, the another French
Uh-huh.
name. And talking about that, I told you that Napoleon Bonaparte was an important guy when we talk about the independence of Brazil, because was going to Portugal, and the royal family came to Brazil. We were colony from Portugal, and they fell in love here, and they go back to Portugal. But the king from that time said to his son, like, hey, be in Brazil, be a good government, and just don't do anything wrong. And he did, because we became independent, and thanks
That's
for Napoleon
crazy.
Bonaparte indirectly, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like little things that changes the world.
Yeah, like imagine, I don't know, this is really crazy, right? For example, when we were a colony at the beginning of Brazil, happened some French invasions here in Rio de Janeiro, of course, and in the northeast of Brazil. And there is another place called São Luís, which is the capital of Maranhão, a state here in
Hmm.
Brazil. And that city was founded by French people. And the name São Luís came from, how can I say, Saint Louis?
Saint Louis.
Yeah, which was a king of France. So, and in Rio de Janeiro, we have some neighborhoods with French names, and 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 yeah, that's really really crazy, right? You have a video talking about Saint Louis, right?
Yes, I loved it. I thought the city was beautiful. And I
Yeah,
really didn't, I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect this. And I was really, really surprised. It seemed like a fun city.
yeah, like to have a fortress there, and the name is
Yeah.
French because I forgot always, but that's really really crazy, right?
Yeah, and I love it because it has like a bit of Jamaican culture, if I understood correctly, and like it's a mix of cultures, and I love cities that have mixed culture. I think they are way more interesting than just like
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian cities, for example, French cities. So I wanted to travel to travel there.
Yeah, and talking about traveling Brazil, have you ever been in which states here?
Well, when I moved here in 2019, I went to Natal, where I
Mm.
lived for almost a year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing. I love the Rio Grande do Norte. It was like the beaches and the people. I just loved it. It was a bit more violent than what I was used to, you know,
Uh-huh.
but the people there are incredible. And then I moved to Santa Catarina. But unfortunately, because there was a pandemic, I didn't get to travel Brazil like I planned to, but hopefully in a few months I will be able to see São Paulo and Rio and all these beautiful cities there you guys have.
Awesome. And did you take the first shot? Talking about the vaccine?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm a teacher.
Okay.
And I was in the priority group. So thank God I did.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Natal, I know that in Natal, there is a place, city really close there called Pipa.
Yes, I
And
loved it.
did you visit as well?
Yes, various times. I went there when I used to travel to Natal to see my husband,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a bubble. Like you're in Brazil, but you feel like you're in another country. I don't know, it's so peaceful and you feel good over there. And the beaches are incredible. I loved
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And have you seen some French placards there? Because when I was there, I was in the beach and I saw like a placard in Portuguese, English, and French. And I was like, wow. And I asked for the guide, the tour guide, and he said like, we have a lot of French people here, surfing, just,
Hmm.
doing tourism there. And I was like, wow, that's interesting because I know that Natal, it is the most close city from Europe. Like
Hmm.
it's really close to Portugal. It's like just 8 hours. I don't remember, nine
Yeah,
hours.
7 hours.
Yeah, it's really close, and you have a lot of people from Europe there.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it's so easy to travel to Natal. Like for me, it was Toulouse, Lisbon, Lisbon, Natal. Like it was
ah,
so quick, like quick, pretty much quick, like a few hours. But um, yeah, I don't know if there are so many French people, but I know that those who like surfing, they
mhm.
know people like to be the spot to surf in Brazil.
Yeah, and you always remember me good information. I know that a beach in I think Alagoas, and the name is the French beach because of that
Oh, really?
invasions. Yeah, because that invasions that happened here. French people were used to trade Brazil wood, which is
Mm-hmm.
how can I say pau Brasil in Portuguese. That's why we call Brazil the country because of that first product that we export to the world. And yeah, the French people were trading with the indigenous groups, and they were like friends, and that's why we started that mixing of races. So probably we have mixture between French and indigenous with Portuguese. So that's why we are so um,
Yeah, it's so fun.
yeah, so mixed to you know other races. Like I'm white, but at the same time I'm not so white. My skin it's a little bit darker. And we have like a name for that here in Brazil, which is mestiço or mulatto, right?
Uh-huh.
And and yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about history, but you can like see somehow a French culture inside of here, right? We have, for example, baguette, right? Baguette
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
French.
Your baguettes are terrible. I'm sorry. They
Why?
make me sad. They're not real baguettes. I'm sorry. Like
But
they're not like crunchy.
oh,
Like some
so
embarrassing.
it's necessary to be a little bit crunchy.
Yes, I mean, like a baguette is very specific, like it's
Mhm.
perfection
Uh,
in terms of bread. So, like, you don't quite have it from what
mm,
I've seen. I haven't been to many bakeries, like, or
mhm.
stuff like that here in Brazil to try all the baguettes you sell. But
I have the feeling that the boulanger, the real boulanger, it's like a religion's comparing to a bakery in Brazil. Am I right? Like in France, the bakery is more special than here.
Yeah, because I feel like in France, if you open up a boulangerie, like a bakery or something like that, it's because like you studied and you really like it, and a
Ah,
bunch of things. You don't just open up one like this, you know. When here in Brazil, I feel like it's more like, okay, I like to make cakes. I'm going to open up
uh-huh.
something, a business like this.
But you're
But
right.
it's not like this.
Wow, so I didn't know that. So people studied to be a baker, like to do.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. Nice.
Yeah, you
And
can study in high school.
oh, amazing.
If I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 2 years, something like that.
Wow, that's amazing. Incroyable. How can I say in French? I forgot.
Incroyable.
Incroyable. Amazing. And what about our petit gâteau comparing to the original in France?
You know, I've never tried it yet.
No.
No, it's a shame. I know.
Oh.
But I heard good things about it. But like it's like a chocolate cake, but
Mm-hmm.
inside it's like melting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in French we call it fondant au chocolat. I,
Okay.
I feel like Jacquin just uh,
But
put the took the pastry and put it in another name here in Brazil. I
uh-huh.
was like, okay, here you have it.
But you put ice cream as well on
You put
the
what?
ice cream.
Well, on the side, maybe you can. Yes, I
Yeah.
guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The petit gâteau here, it's that cake as you described, but we put ice cream by the side and you mixture, the two
Oh,
foods and eat. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm talking
okay.
about my experiences in São Paulo. Okay, this is the
Yeah,
petit gâteau from São Paulo. I don't know from other states from Brazil, but yeah, we put ice cream.
that sounds good.
And our croissant, is it different?
Well, I've tried to find croissant here in Brazil, but I
Uh-huh.
feel like it's kind of hard to find, and like there are some things that look similar, but in taste it's quite different because croissant is mostly butter.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Ah, okay.
you have to fit it,
Mhm.
and I haven't found this yet.
Yeah, we put ham, cheese, chocolate.
That's
Uh, yeah.
like I like simple croissant, just
Ah,
butter.
okay, okay. But in France, it's like, you know, we put a lot of things, or normally it's just the butter.
Well, in my experience, we mostly just use the butter, like with nothing, like natural, let's say. When you go to a bakery or something like that, I don't remember seeing this kind of croissant with lots of things inside.
Oh, well, yeah.
Might be
Okay. Yeah, I'm just, talking about the things that I lived. So maybe
wrong.
it's different from other places to Brazil.
Yeah.
Um, and do you have something Brazilian in France? Like, okay, you said about the girl, but maybe you have some architecture, some city, and maybe I don't know, like food.
Well, I'm not sure, like I don't I don't think that we have a food that's really Brazilian that we eat frequently.
Mhm.
In terms of architecture, I don't think so. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know the whole France, but I feel like no. And I don't know. Like we have a few music that are classics, like samba music
Mm.
that you hear when you are in a store, like in the background.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and like capoeira, it's kind of known. Like if you want to practice this, you can. There are some schools.
Nice.
But I don't feel like the Brazilian culture is very present in
Mm.
France.
Yeah,
And
I
we have
think
Neymar, like except Neymar,
uh
I don't think
God,
we
yeah.
we know much.
And he's considered like what? Like he's really famous. People love him. What do you think about Neymar in
Yeah,
PSG?
well, he's very famous, of course, for the
Hmm.
price. He has to be. But I feel like people are or were kind of mad at him
Hmm.
for like in the beginning because he wasn't making much
Yeah.
efforts, you know. But I feel like now it's okay. Like he's part of the team, he's part of the family,
Hmm.
and we're like, okay, he's a good player. We're lucky to have him.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that Brazil has a feeling as hate and love as
Hmm.
well because well, he's one of the best players in the world right now. But at the same time, we just care about titles, you know. So we need to win the
Yeah,
World Cup, we need to win the Cup from America, and when we lost, well, the guilt, you know, is the main player and is Neymar. So yeah, I think that we have the same thing. But he's doing well. Let's gonna
hmm,
um, see next year the World Cup, and now we are in the America Cup, and yeah, let's see what's going on. And I forgot to ask. I love to ask this to all people that I'm interviewing. What is the relation um, between a French and a Brazilian? Like, is it normal? You have different things when we talk about culture. What can you say to us about, you know, your Brazilian husband?
well, it's fun. I feel like it's fun because a lot of things that I do for him are like super rude, and a lot of things that he does for me are like super rude. But for him, it's normal, you know. Like we have this cultural difference, but I feel like it. Like if you communicate, if you're like, okay, in my country, this is normal, and like
Hmm.
I understand that you may not like it, so I'm going to try to get to be better. I feel
Hmm.
like there are no problem. But yeah, sometimes there are a few differences, you know, like he lived in France, so we don't have this as much. Like he lived in French, he talks French, like he speaks French, we talk in French. So like he understands most of how I feel and what I came from, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
And now that I live in Brazil, I understand him even better. Like I understand the little jokes that he makes with some cultural references. I understand how he thinks about a few things. So I mean, it's just about communication and just being in the other's shoe. I don't know if it makes sense, but you have to keep in mind that it's Brazil and France, it's a big cultural difference, and you have to keep in mind that it's okay not to understand some things or not to like some things. You just have to talk about it.
Yeah, if you are in a relationship with someone from another country or even in Brazil that has differences, states by states, yeah, it's necessary to exchange the cultures and, you know, live a little bit there, and then we live here to, you know, to understand the culture as you guys are doing. And yeah, that's great. I totally agree with you. I think it's really important to understand. For example, we have some bad stereotypes about friends in terms of shower.
Oh yeah,
I think that this is not just in Brazil, probably the rest of the
yes,
world, right?
we are known for that. That's also
Yeah, but I can imagine like, well, it's really cold in Europe, so that's why people take shower like one time or one time in 2 days, right? And here we take 3 times because of the weather, because we are sweating all the time, right?
now. I think that most of people forget that, like Brazilians, for example, when they told me on my channel, yeah, but French people don't take bath. I'm like, we do not think 1,000 baths per day, you know, 1,000 showers per day. And I understand that here in Brazil you need to, when especially when it's summer, it's super hot and you just want to die. So you need a shower, you know. So I understand you take 3, 4 a day, And in France during summer, it happens, you know, summer can get pretty hot. So we do take several showers a day. I don't know everybody, but most of them I think do. So when it's cold, I feel like just one is enough, you know, like I I don't know. To me, it's normal. Like it was surprising for me to see my husband taking a bunch of showers
Mhm.
every day, but now I understand, you know, like it's hot, you need to.
Yeah, I already dated with a girl from Europe, and she was used to say like, "You're taking another shower?" Because I was taking 2 showers in a day, and I was like, "Yeah," because I was in the streets, and
Yeah.
then I'm dirty. I need to take a shower, and this is really nice. It's fun for me.
Yeah, it's the little things, you know, like we do not need as many showers in France, usually.
Yeah, usually. Yousra, it was really fun to talk with you.
It was very nice to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for this episode.
Thank you.
Um, and what is your YouTube channel?
Yes, it's Yousra, just like my name.
That's it,
Yes.
Yousra. Just Yousra, and then we can find you on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, and do you want to say other social medias as well?
Well, I have Instagram where it is simply Yousra, and
Hmm.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so buddies, I'm Andre, the Brazilian buddy. You can find me on Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Just put Brazilian buddy and you will find. Thank you so much for this episode. And yeah, that's it. And I'm trying to find any French word to say, um, like bonsoir
Uh,
or
it could be au revoir,
au revoir.
say
Yes,
goodbye.
thank you so much. Yeah, au revoir.
Au
So,
revoir.
buddies, au revoir. Thank you so much. Muito obrigado. And ciao.